Hi everyone, Dr. Suneel Dhand, metabolic health doctor. I believe that most chronic ailments out there have natural solutions and pharmaceuticals are only to be used as a last resort. That was the idea that I had in my mind when I first applied to medical school. I thought, great, become a doctor. My idea of a doctor is somebody comes to you when they have a problem. You do your best to fix it. You prescribe something, but it's only a temporary measure. The idea isn't supposed to be to get somebody on a drug or an injection for life. And that has drastically changed over the last few decades. And I believe that the paradigm, Western medical paradigm, is completely broken for most chronic ailments out there. And I want to distinguish between chronic ailments and acute illnesses, because one thing that I do think Western medicine is very good at is fixing acute conditions quickly. And that's why I'm very proud to practice acute care hospital medicine. I mean, who in their right mind, if they had a broken bone or overwhelming sepsis from a bad pneumonia or acute heart failure, wouldn't want to go to a doctor or a hospital? Of course, 99.9% of people, including myself, would definitely show up in a hospital because we can do some great things with acute conditions. But it is with everything else that the medical paradigm completely falls apart, or at least most other things, most chronic conditions out there. And I want to share this with you honestly. I get more people who come up to me and say, guess what? This alternative medicine, quote unquote alternative medicine, whether we're talking about acupuncture, Ayurveda, homeopathy, I mean, so many alternative medicines out there. I meet way more people, and I mean that, way more people who say to me, Dr. Dhand, guess what? This form of alternative medicine fixed my problem. More people than say to me, this Western medicine, this pill or injection completely fixed my problem. Because we know that the big pharma model is to get people on pills or injections for life. It is not to cure anything. If a patient is cured, a customer is lost. So the saying goes. Whereas the same can't be said for so many forms of alternative medicine. And I believe that more and more people are going to wake up to this because modern medicine completely fails to address root causes, and it gets people stuck in a terrible never-ending cycle. I mean, let's think about some chronic ailments out there which are widespread. Somebody has an inflamed gut. Their gut isn't working, right from their stomach right through to the back end of the gut, not working as it should. Well, of course it's not, because most people out there, because of the toxic food environment, are pouring absolutely toxic, ultra-processed foods into themselves. So what do you think your gut is going to do? A gut which for millions of years has been consuming real food suddenly starts consuming factory-made concoctions. Of course it's going to react. Of course it's going to get inflamed and people are going to have issues. But the modern medical profession barely recognizes this. I mean, I've heard some stories from people that their gastroenterologist barely touches upon what people are eating. I mean, think about that for a moment. Being a gastroenterologist and wanting to simply push more and more injections and procedures on people instead of sitting down and saying, well, what do you eat? You're eating a ton of processed foods. Of course, your gut is going to be inflamed. And the modern medical profession, all you have to do is turn on the TV. If you're unfortunate enough to have cable TV, how many ads are out there for injections for inflamed guts? But what about the basic question, well, why is your gut inflamed? Let's address the root cause about why you're feeling terrible. I mean, gut health is intrinsically linked to mental health. We don't even talk about that either. But speaking of mental health, let's think of another example. Oh, you're a little bit depressed, or maybe more than a little bit depressed. Well, of course you are. In toxic modern mainstream culture, you scroll your screen for half the day. You are bombarded with terrible things which deliberately poke and prod you and work you up, make you feel perhaps like you're not good enough. This is especially a problem for younger people. You're not getting outdoors. You're not mixing with people. There's no sense of community. Of course you're going to be depressed. You also lack purpose. But rather than think about those problems, oh no, we're the medical profession. Guess what? We have this pill for you, or perhaps more than one pill, because so many people with mental health issues are on 2, 3, 4 pills that, of course, are causing other problems. These are mind-altering drugs. A terrible situation. Or let's think about another example. You can't sleep properly because you have sleep apnea. Well, yes, you have sleep apnea because you have an abnormal amount of body fat. And yes, let's be quite frank, it is abnormal. You don't see animals in nature walking around overweight or obese unless they are put in artificial environments. It's an abnormal state because if animals are like that, well, guess what? They either won't be able to hunt, they won't be able to get food, or they will quickly be eaten themselves. So, of course, if you have excess body fat, I mean, how many people out there look down and they can't even see their feet because there's a lot of body fat in between? And I don't say that to be mean. I'm telling the truth because I want people to be well and I want them to realize how much this is causing inflammation and it's causing sickness. So your diaphragm muscles can't work, your respiratory muscles can't work, and you won't be able to sleep well. And what does the medical profession say? Rather than be all in on addressing root cause solutions, oh, it's okay, we'll prescribe you more pills, we'll give you an injection. Oh, here's a machine. Costs thousands of dollars, and you have to attach it to yourself just to be able to sleep because you've got so much excess adipose tissue. Think about that. And the medical profession just thinks this is a normal thing to be prescribing tens of millions of people these sleep apnea machines because they can't sleep. They've got too much body fat impairing their ability to breathe. But we are in this situation, and I really believe whether we're talking about the gut, whether we're talking about depression, whether we're talking about inability to sleep, I mean, there's hundreds of different conditions that I can think of where the medical profession only wants to prescribe pills and injections. And I know what some people are going to say. Well, people don't listen. Doctors try. I don't believe that. I don't believe that the medical profession is all in on this by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, look at what the medical profession did for smoking. They did eventually go all in. That's after they were advertising cigarettes themselves. And they told people, you have to stop smoking. There are no ands, ifs, or buts. You have to stop smoking. Big public health campaign. And guess what? Loads of people, absolutely millions of people, did stop smoking. So the fact is that as more and more people are getting sicker every year, and more medications keep getting prescribed, the medical industrial complex keeps getting richer. Slowly, people are waking up, and especially for those chronic conditions. That is why so many people are turning away from Western medicine. They're turning to alternative medicine. I mean, I would do the same thing because I don't believe that Western medicine even wants to truly address root causes. Absolutely not. But there are so many forms of alternative medicine out there which will actually try to get to the root cause, whatever is causing the inflammation, whatever is causing the cellular dysfunction. And eventually, when it comes to chronic disease management, I believe the Western medical paradigm, which is so broken, is going to come tumbling down. And the medical profession will get exactly what it deserves. And my message as always is that if you are somebody that wants to be healthy, if you want your family to be healthy, then take your health into your own hands. Do not think that the people who lead the medical establishment have your true health and well-being at heart. Eat real food. Avoid that toxic processed junk, which is 80 to 90% of the grocery store. Feed and protect your gut as much as you can. Also protect your liver, protect your pancreas. Strive to be in the best possible shape. I know it's difficult. You can only do your best every day. Move as much as you can. Get your 10,000 steps in. You can totally spare an hour a day for exercise. It's only 4% of your day, and you will reap enormous benefits. Stay determined. Think about any stress in your life. Relax at every opportunity. Strive to sleep enough every night. Do all of those things. Tick as many boxes as you can. Because my goal for you is to be as healthy as possible. Hopefully, go with natural solutions to fixing any ailments, with pills and injections only as a last resort. We have this one body. It is a big gift to us. We owe it to ourselves to treat it well. But unfortunately, that frequently is not going to happen if we listen to the medical establishment. So again, I will be very honest. If I have a medical condition, I think it's far more likely, if that was chronic, because I know how the medical profession works, that I would go to an alternative health practitioner, and I would think that I have way more chance of solving it than with traditional medicine. I'm not talking about an acute condition. I'm not talking about an emergency. I'm talking about those chronic conditions, which frequently can be reversed naturally. Thanks everyone for watching Dr. Suneel Dhand. Do feel free to share your thoughts down below. Check the links in the description down below for my natural supplement store, my website, and all the other work I do. Hit the like button if you like this video and the subscribe button for more similar videos in the future, and we will speak again very soon.